What scares you more, Marcus? A malware breach or an employee accidentally sharing sensitive file on any of the SaaS or cloud apps, like whether it's Google Drive or SharePoint or maybe Zendesk or anything of that sort, or even AWS, S3, etc.
I think, they both have their own scares. I think it depends on the size of the malware breach and the size of the data exposure. Um, but obviously nowadays, depending on where your business operates and how they operate, usually, we would, because we're working in the B2B space, we hold a lot of data normally for on behalf of our clients. So data protection is probably, the one thing that it's held at its highest regard. So, I think, depending how you're building cyber programs, I think nowadays we have help. We have, 24/7 SOCs, we have running endpoint detection systems and things like that, which in some instances kind of lets you sleep at night a bit better because you have protections and you have built defense in depth around those things. When we're talking about accidental issues, they're a bit harder to prevent because you are then relying on building policies to prevent things from happening, and you need to try and sort of step ahead against all eventualities, but which not always is possible. But I think, with a good strategy, what you can do is you can impose data sharing requirements of,
Correct.
we normally start with, depending on how, how you work, but you would have some sort of, SaaS application register where you would have approved applications and for business use cases, and then you would create, a policies of where PII can data flow or even sensitive information. We not only need to talk about PII. I think sometimes we
Anything.
forget. We're working with intellectual property data,
Correct.
and we're talking about employee data as well, which is all of it needs to be protected at pretty much similar level.